I just love helping people. I love what I do for work. It's my passion. When you do something that you love, it doesn't feel like work.
It's scary. It's scary to find the job in Canada.
Marketing is yes.
That's what we do.
I would recommend try to find a job in tier 0, 1, 2, 3 if you have the option.
This is a good news for most of people.
Listen to UCAN Radio. Support Ukraine.
Всім привіт, друзі! Це те, що треба на UCAN Radio. Мене звати Дмитро Господінов. І якщо ви слухаєте цей подкаст, то ви ще не бачите нашого гостя. Якщо ви дивитесь цей подкаст в Ютубі, то ви вже бачите нашого гостя. Друзі, з нами сьогодні спеціаліст, професіонал, бізнесвумен, яка допоможе вам розібратися в тих нововведеннях, які відбулися в імміграційних процесах. Рупіндер Бхатті сьогодні з нами, Monocle Immigration, компанія, яка була заснована більше 5 років тому, і вони допомагають українцям з отриманням піару, в тому числі вони допомагають нам з вами, друзі, через те, що в складі Monocle Immigration є україномовні працівники. І це дуже круто. Це, звісно, завжди допомагає, бо нашою мовою, рідненькою. Це ж класно. Рупіндер, hello. I just introduced you to our audience, and it would be great to hear it from you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Because you are, as all Ukrainian newcomers who are the most audience of UCAN Radio today, you landed to Canada in 2009. You already got this experience of getting permanent residency. And most of our listeners still doesn't have it. So tell us about yourself. Tell about your experience.
Okay, well, I came to Canada in 2009, so exactly 15 years ago. So I landed in Ontario, studied there for 2 years, then moved to Saskatchewan. That's where I got my PR, and then I moved to Calgary. And I got my license as an immigration consultant in 2021. So it's been 4 years since I've been practicing as an immigration consultant.
Wow. So you have experience living across the Canada, Toronto, Saskatchewan, Calgary. You decided to stay in Calgary.
That is correct. Calgary is home. So I've been to so many provinces, love Canada all over, but Calgary is my favorite. So that's why I decided to stay here again.
97% of our audience is from Calgary, so
True.
Another one proved that Calgary is the best city all over the Canada. Don't tell anybody, but we know that. Okay, tell me please, what was the Canada 15 years ago?
Actually, to be honest, very similar, except less people, like less immigrants. But I'm not complaining. I mean,
not so
crowded. It was like getting our immigration process. Like our immigration process was much more easier back then than it is right now, and it's like because of a number of increase in like people coming in. So there are just different programs. It's not impossible right now. It's just now there are like a lot more different programs that we look into. And the immigration plan is very customized. So still, I would say what Canada was 15 years ago is probably the same. You'll see like a lot more variety right now. Right? A lot more different people.
And because of Ukrainians as well.
That's true.
300,000 Ukrainians landed to Canada since the war in Ukraine started, and 80,000 from them. I was wrong, sorry. 80,000 of Ukrainians lives in Calgary right now. Not all of them are newcomers, of course, but a huge Ukrainian community we have at the moment right now. And it's became more crowded and more crowded. My neighbors, I live in Northwest, and in 1996, when they just landed, their house was on the edge. There was nothing more, just elks and deers and coyotes, and that's it. Now we have neighborhoods and neighborhoods and neighborhoods and a lot of new neighborhoods. So it's a lot of job for you.
It is. Like, we have been very busy lately, and especially like a lot of my clients are Ukrainian recently, just because I have Daria who works with me and she's Ukrainian. And I just love helping people. I love what I do for work. It's my passion, and I've been doing it for 4 years, and I'm hoping to do it like for long term.
Sometimes when something that was your passion before becomes a really, really hard job that can devastate everything when you do it as making a living, when you do it as a business. How you run the business?
Actually, to be honest, I have finished my nursing in Canada. I went to University of Saskatchewan. A huge respect for nurses, but I just didn't, like it took me a while to find my passion. That's when I found out, and anytime I would go back, I would have a lot of people asking me about how did I go to Canada, how did I become PR. And I really loved interacting and telling them about my journey. So that's what got me into immigration. And, when you do something that you love, it doesn't feel like work. Some days, yes, it can get stressful, but I'm just, I'm happy to be able to do what I love, and it never felt like a business.
What is the landscape right now? What's became challenges? What's became stressful for you as a business owner and with the person who runs business? And what is the most challenging right now for those who aspire to get this?
Actually, to be honest, I can speak from my experience of 4 years when I started working. For example, immigration programs, Alberta PNP, the first one that comes to my mind. The processing time was like just 20, 21 days, which is now, 6 months, 8 months. So it's...
Excuse me, please?
Yes.
21 days?
Yeah, 21 days. Like
3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks up until 2022. Like that was the processing time. So never had a problem. And now we have been dealing with a lot of clients, who are frustrated, like their work permits are expiring. So these are the challenges, like clients' expectations, and also, the changing immigration processing times and them shutting down some programs and then bringing in new ones. There is a lot of confusion.
And that's why we are so thankful to you that you join us today to explain some of them, some of updates, some of new things that happening around. Can we stop and discuss 3 topics today?
For sure.
The first one that would be really impactful, I think, is Spousal Open Work Permit. The second one is PNP, of course, Alberta Provincial Nominee Program. And TRP, it's became popular because of the
lack of
passports for Ukrainian community. Which one would you like to prefer to start with?
Let's start by Spousal Open Work Permit.
Okay, Spousal Open Work Permit. It's pretty important thing right now because most of Ukrainians, they all get open work permits for themselves. But the program quiet is over. So probably it's really useful for those who want to bring a spouse to the country. Yeah?
That is correct. Yeah, it's primarily used for people who are here on a work permit or a study permit. Well, study permit, not much of an option anymore. But if you are here on a work permit and you work in a specific occupation or tier, then you can bring your spouses in. Initially, it was tier 0, 1, 2, 3. Now they have made some changes, and there are only limited number of occupations you need to be working in order to bring your spouse in. Mm-hmm. But yes, it's a lot of my Ukrainian clients still use this option just because they're married to somebody who's non-Ukrainian, so they don't qualify for the work permit. So Spousal Open Work Permit for them is a good option. Yep. So a couple requirements, you must be working in a qualifying tier, like I mentioned, which we can verify with you. Once you come into us, we'll just check your eligibility and see if you meet all the requirements. But this is the best way to bring your spouse in to Canada, while you are on a work permit. Also, if you've applied for a PR, a spousal sponsorship, right, and your spouse is in Canada while they wait for their PR, which can take up to 1 year or a year and a half, you can simply apply for a Spousal Open Work Permit based on your PR application in process. So it's a wonderful opportunity to be with your spouse, your family member, if you don't have a PR.
And especially probably, of course that there is some obstacles, some things that sometimes the one part of the family is already here in Canada.
Yeah.
And for example, men, they're not allowed to move out from from Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity for those who was separated by the war, and now they can make this reunion by doing this SOWP. Let's learn this new word, Spousal Open Work Permit. This is really important. And tell me, please, Probably a lot of people try to do it by themselves.
That's correct.
What are the most common mistakes that we do before we will read the manual?
Actually, to be honest, I do get like 1 or 2 clients get booked in every week just because they made an error in their application. And the primarily that I see is like not sending enough documentation. If you, as your spouse, is sponsoring somebody on a work permit, then you want to show the IRCC that you meet all the requirements. So your paperwork as a sponsor is important. So that's where I've been seeing like a lot of mistakes. For example, you must be submitting Spousal Open Work Permit with your copy of your work permit, with your job letter, and 3 pay stubs. And a lot of people miss that actually, even though like that's one of the most important requirements.
And what do they do after? So they get rejected?
Yeah, so you get refused and then you come in, like, and then we look at the, the decision. If it's time to apply for a new one, we apply for a new one. Or we just try to overcome the refusal one way or another, whether it's by applying through a reconsideration, which is like, appealing the same decision, or either you just apply for a brand new application.
So it's not a complete disaster if people get this refusion. You can help with make it proper in the second way or in the third way, so you can help to find the right way.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, if, we deal with a lot of refusals at our office. And if you have a refusal, come see us. Like, we'll just look at the reasons for the refusal and just try to overcome them. Yep.
Wow, that's really nice opportunity. And I believe that most of Ukrainian families who want to make this reunion will probably consider this one as a mainstream for them, as a main option for them. What should they do if they want to do it properly from the very beginning and to use, for example, your services or services of other immigration lawyers, consultants on the market? What should they do before coming to you?
Okay, for sure. First, I would like to say, actually, you bring up a very good point. Yes, like right now, some of the people from Ukraine are not allowed to leave. So it is, Spousal Open Work Permit is a wonderful opportunity, and I should say that. Second, yes, if they want to apply for this kind of permit for their family member, they just need to see any immigration consultant or any immigration professional. Just get a document checklist from them. I would recommend making a consultation where a professional can actually understand your case. They can check your eligibility, if you meet the requirement or not. Just having a work permit in Canada doesn't guarantee your spouse will get a work permit, right? Your occupation should meet certain requirements. You should have certain documents, and a consultation can do all that for you. So just seek a professional help, book a consultation, get a document checklist, give them the documents, and they'll take care of everything for you.
Just take a consultation. That's what the main piece of advice. Take a consultation
take
first.
A consultation.
It doesn't cost a lot, but you will be sure that you're doing everything right. Question from the audience. We asked our listeners about the questions that they have. And the one of them was really important. Common law.
Yes.
How it works. And is it possible to apply if you're not, if you don't have this marriage certificate?
No, absolutely. Actually, I would say like it's 50-50. Like if you're not married, but you are in a genuine relationship and have been living together for 1 year, then you are considered common law in immigration, right? As long as you have a proof of relationship where it says that, yes, you guys have been living together for 1 year. It can be your lease agreement, things like that. It works just like spouse. And if you are in a common law with somebody, you still qualify for a spousal open work permit.
Is there any kind of a papers or certificates about common law here in Canada, or common bills or this lease agreement means a lot?
Yes. So for common law, the proof of relationship is important. So if you can't get like a formal documentation, just your lease agreement, photos together, your messages, like your bank statements, your
messages.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, just proving the relationship.
If you live in a common law, please create a common chat and send love messages each day to each other. Not because of the immigration, just because you love each other. And probably it will help you to get your permanent residency with SOWP, Spousal Open Work Permit. So thank you. Let's finish with this one. Thank you for that. It's important, and it's really important that common laws can also apply, but they only have to prove it. PNP, it's a popular one.
It is a very popular
But
one.
there are different streams.
Yes.
And the different jobs and different opportunities. Can you explain what are they right now, and is there any updates on the market?
For sure. So let's start by talking about the common PNP stream, which is Alberta Opportunity Stream. So this is very occupation specific, which means like you can change your employers, but your job title must remain the same.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, because a lot of people, they come in, they're like, okay, I've been, doing this job for 6 months, then I changed my job. Well, you can change your job, you can change your employer, but your job title must remain the same if you're applying under this category. So this is where a lot of people, this is the stream.
It's scary. It's scary to find a job in Canada and then to be able to find one more in the same field with the same title of the job. And is it important to have the same, not only title, but also the job descriptions?
That's correct. Like your job title might be a little bit different, just depends on the workplace. But as long as your job duties and responsibilities remain the same, officer can use their discretion and it should be okay. Like for Alberta Opportunity Stream, I agree. It's difficult to find a job, but they do give you the option. Either you need 12-month work experience in Alberta or 24-month work experience combined Canada and outside. For example, if you were doing the same job in Ukraine and just come here, and you do have more than 24-month work experience, on your first paycheck, you actually qualify for this program. You don't have to necessarily wait and work in Alberta for 1 year. So that's the most misconception.
This is a good news for most of people. Yeah, but the popular question that we have usually inside the community is, if I've got a promotion, so I did the one type of job, then I'm staying in that company, but I've got promotion and my job title and my job description, my responsibilities, they're changed. They became more complex. Is it okay or not?
Actually, it depends on like what kind of promotion. For example, if it's in the same department and your job duties remain same, but they got more, right? Because you got a promotion, it would still be okay as long as your previous job duties are still a part of your job description. However, for example, if you were working in like a one department got transferred to another which had nothing to do with your previous job title, then you need to make sure you must have an experience for another 12 months in your new job title. So this is where like, you got to pick your battles a little bit. We get like clients like this a lot where they're waiting for a promotion, but it's completely different job title or completely different job duties and responsibilities. Unfortunately, that's why I initially said Alberta Opportunity Stream is very occupation specific.
You will not get probably it's better not to get a promotion before you will get your permanent residency, because it can ruin probably your application. And if your work permit is about to expire, so probably you have to ask your employer to wait a little bit with promotion.
Exactly, and we can actually explore different streams as well. There is one, it's called Accelerated Tech Pathway. So it doesn't require you to have a work permit or necessarily be working with the employer. The main requirement is you must have 300 points in express entry. So that's the requirement. And there are like around 20-25 different job titles under this occupation. So if you...
What are the most popular?
Actually, IT occupations or HR occupations, those are one of the most popular occupations under this program. Especially
well, IT is not surprise for me, but as for HR, human resources are also in that list?
Yes, exactly, and marketing as well. So there are...
And the marketing as well?
And marketing as well, yes.
That's what we do?
Yes, exactly, right?
Probably we are eligible here on UCAN Radio.
Yeah, no, we work with a lot of like companies who are a part of like multimedia, things like that, and like wonderful opportunity for companies like yours.
I know,
as a marketing.
Definitely the next topic for our next podcast with you.
Okay, no, for sure, we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can go deeper there. Okay, but as for the PNP, before that it was Alberta Opportunity Stream.
Yeah.
Now we call it PNP. Yeah?
I know. Well,
it's a different-
PNP is a program. It's like Provincial Nominee Program. Each province have their own.
Okay.
Like Alberta has AAIP, Alberta
Alberta
Advantage Immigration Program.
Uh-huh.
For example, Saskatchewan is SINP, so that's their PNP. Each province have their own PNP. And in Alberta, they have different streams. I know it's a lot of confusion. Even took us a while.
By the
Get
way,
over
may I congratulate you. You open in Saskatchewan the new office, if I'm not
In
mistaken.
Manitoba, yeah.
In Manitoba.
Yes.
Ah, sorry.
That's next.
That will be
That's
next.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. When people are starting to choose their job,
Yeah.
what would be your suggestion for them right now? Is it construction? Is it IT or something like that? Because I heard about the cases that some of the guys, they've got their permanent residency just after applying.
Yeah.
And now you're going to the pool and you're waiting to be invited to get it. And some of the occupations are in demand right now, so you can just get it really fast. So what would you suggest?
No, you're right. There is one sector, it's called priority sector. If you see hospitality and construction are in demand in that. So jobs that are that have to do with construction, it can be plumbing, it can be electrician, jobs like these, they're definitely in demand, and the processing time is much faster as compared to other programs. That being said, my recommendation would be, always try to target more than one program. I have never said that before last year, March, when they closed or shut down the PNP, because everybody used to, get their PNP. But right now, because the programs are getting so strict, provinces are running out of their nominations throughout the year, or even just after 6 months. It's better to try target express entry as well. So I would recommend try to find a job in tier 0, 1, 2, 3 if you have the option, rather than just settling for tier 4 and 5. So you can target more than one program at a time.
How can I find it? When I'm applying for the job and I've got my job offer, how can I check which tier is it?
So just online, go to National Classification website, NOC website, and you can just enter your job title. There you'll be able to see the tier, the level, skill level, and everything for your job, and all the requirements as well.
And try to avoid 4 and the 5 tier.
Yes, like if you have a choice, that's what I'm saying. Like there are some jobs that are irreplaceable, but yes, if you're looking for a recommendation and you have more than one option, then I'd rather go for a job title that would support 2 different programs than just one. Just because right now the nominations are limited, you might not get an opportunity. So it's better to have a backup program in mind.
Any forecast about which, because it can change.
Yeah.
Like in 3 months, they can just switch to another priority, and in a couple of months, the other professions and jobs will be in demand, and they will stop all the construction ones, and they will wait for years, and they will invite somebody else. And especially in these circumstances where we have potential trade wars, not potential, they are actually already on the market. By the way, is there any impact about immigration processes for you? Do you feel something about this tension between Canada and USA in these relationships?
To be honest, yes, we are starting to get a lot more calls where people ask us, do we provide services for immigration outside Canada? But that's a topic for another day. As far as our job, it's just whenever there is a panic in public, right? We get a lot of inquiries, or when government announces they'll be launching a new program or terminating certain programs, then yes, we get busy. It's just having to deal with all those inquiries and things like that. So that's the only impact. Other than that, immigration process, it's the same. But yes, like you mentioned, before March 2024, you were able to apply for PNP without having to go in the pool. Now you must wait for, the invitation before you apply. So
that's
those are the
frustrating.
challenges. Sometimes you see a really good resume, but those people not getting the invitation just because there is no draw.
Yeah. If in the previous situation, it was all about my efforts. If I will get all the documents, if I will gain this year of Canadian experience, I did everything right and I will get this permanent residency. But now, in addition to all of that, I still have to wait, and it's not all about me right now. I just have to wait this invitation, and it's really frustrating. But I believe that we will overcome.
You're absolutely you're absolutely right, and this is the first point of frustration for us as well, right? You have everything ready, you're just waiting for the invitation, and I've seen depends on your resume. Like you might get an invite like couple days after you are in the pool, and sometimes you are there like sitting there for months, right? And these draws are so random and unpredictable, like you can't even like guess or see like if this person is going to get an invitation or not.
And if somebody will tell you that I definitely know that those professions will be in demand next couple of months or years, it's probably not true, because nobody knows.
I think I can see healthcare being in demand, like one occupation or another. Other than that, they keep changing the occupations, right?
Yeah. So, thank you so much. It was the first part, and in conclusion, we will speak about TRP, Temporary Resident Permit, really important topic for Ukrainian audience, for those who especially waiting for their passport to be expired. But we will go for the short pause, and we'll come back soon.
Listen to UCAN Radio. Support Ukraine.
Друзі, UCAN Radio ми продовжуємо говорити з Рупіндер Бхатті про те, які зміни були в останніх імміграційних програмах, і про те, що не так часто підіймають в обговорення, бо не є таким популярним, але може бути дуже корисним для вас. Тож ми продовжуємося, і я знову переключаюся на англійську мову. Вибачте, яка вже є в мене. Для того, щоб отримати всі відповіді від першого джерела. Рупіндер, let's switch to the third topic that we're about to cover today. And it's TRP. A lot of new letters for our audience today, but this one really useful as well. Temporary Resident Permit. What is it? Tell us.
So temporary resident permit is an application which must be done on paper. The processing time is around 8 to 10 months. So it's to overcome inadmissibility, or if you don't meet the requirements of a certain program, but you still wish to stay in Canada. So that's when we use this application. Primarily, this is used when your status has expired, you are way past your restoration time. You know, you just apply. And sometimes, like for example, last year I had this girl who was a child who was 4, and her parents just forgot about her status in Canada. And a year
about
after,
her status in Canada?
Yeah, that happens, right? Like parents kept renewing theirs, but they didn't think anything about the child until like school reached out and be like, okay, we need some sort of paperwork. So the child was out of status in Canada, but parents were here. So child, obviously, 4-year child couldn't go back. In this case, the perfect opportunity was TRP. We applied, took 8 months, but now that child is back in status. Similarly, we have been using it a lot lately for Ukrainian clients as well.
Which cases?
For example, Ukrainian men, they're having a hard time getting new passports.
Oh yeah.
Yes, exactly. And if you don't have a passport, then you won't get a work permit. In this case, you apply for a TRP and a work permit together. You submit your application, then after a couple months, you'll get an approval. It's to overcome the reason that you don't have a passport.
Mm-hmm. So, this is a great news for all of us. Is there any connections between TRP? Is it an old an old program that we can use? It's not actually a program. Yeah, it's just a permit that you can get if you have some troubles here. But how long let's call it on the market?
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, like it's long before like people needed TRP for one reason or another, if they lost their status or if their application lacks something and they want to overcome that admissibility, right? Inadmissibility, I should say.
I just asked because it was a big problem before these announcements were made by Canadian government about possibility for Ukrainian newcomers to extend their work permit, even they don't have a passport. If our passports are expiring, so in that case. But TRP was already there, so...
It was, it's just it's like work permit had always been there. Yes, there is a new category, QAT, for Ukrainians, but it's the work permit application that's always been there. So did the TRP. But like I said, we had never had men in Ukraine never had problem getting a new passport before the war, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we are starting to use this term more lately, because we never had to in the past. And it's a wonderful opportunity still be able to get a work permit without having a passport.
And is it hard to get it? I mean, do you need to have a job to be employed for a couple of months? Or is there any requirements for that?
No, it depends on the work permit requirement. TRP doesn't have much requirements as such. So I would say it depends on, you don't need a support from your employer. You don't need to have a job, things like that. Like if you're applying for a quit and you're simply using TRP because you don't have a passport, right? So that's everything remains the same in the checklist other than TRP application. That's about it. But yes, it is difficult as this is not an online application like work permits. It must be done on paper, and those papers must be mailed to IRCC. So
And
that's the only challenge we have.
Can it lead to the permanent residency as well as open work permits that all Ukrainians have right
Yeah,
now?
because you'll get a work permit as well, right? And then
Yes.
you can continue your journey on economic pathway, whether it's PNP, express entry, you can still get the work, your permanent residency in Canada.
And if you got this TRP because of the passport expiration, it's obvious that you can't leave the country, yeah?
Yes, TRP unfortunately is like a one-time permit. Like it's, it voids the purpose. Like if you exit the country, right? Because
So no Mexico with TRP, no Cancun, and no vacations anywhere except British Columbia or somewhere.
Until you get your PR, right?
Yeah, you have to stay in the country if you get this TRP thing. Okay, thank you so much for explaining this important thing, and I think that we covered everything that we were about to cover today.
Yep.
Just the last question for you.
Yep.
Can you give 3 tips for those who are seeking to gain permanent residency in 2025?
In 2000, you just want to make sure you're fully ready, as in like you have written the English exam, you have gotten your education evaluation done, and you have all your paperwork in line. As soon as any program opens, you just want to submit your application ASAP. Last year in March, when they shut down the PNP program, one thing I've noticed was clients being too lenient, and they were, just waiting on their documents or thinking they have enough time. You just want to make sure like you have anybody who's willing to apply or who's looking to apply for PR in Canada, write an English exam, get your education evaluation done, and like get all your documents ready. And that's my tip.
So get prepared before it will come. Something will appear, and it's quite often when they open something new. And if you don't have all of this done before, so you will just waste time doing that, and everybody who has it already, they will be the first, and then the doors will close
absolutely,
again.
Absolutely. That's why I always recommend my clients, because there can be more than one PR program. Just to, try to pick one or two that works best for you and just work towards them. Don't lose your focus. Don't run after one program or another. It'll just confuse you guys.
So thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time and for sharing your expertise and for giving us a piece of advice today.
Thank you.
Друзі, це була Рупіндер Бхатті, Monocle Immigration, компанія, яка працює на ринку Канади вже 5 років і в якій є українські працівники, які допоможуть вам із усіма питаннями, які у вас можуть виникати. І ці українські працівники отут постійно біля студії, навколо студії ходять і слідкують за тим, щоб наш подкаст пройшов класно. Друзі, ми закріпимо, я думаю, що посилання під цим подкастом для того, щоб ви мали змогу звернутися до Дарії Білим, наприклад, яка може допомогти вам і відповісти на всі питання стосовно вашої імміграції. І ще раз дякуємо вашими лайками, коментарями і підписками на наш YouTube канал. І скажемо дякую Рупіндер Бхатті. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're listening for UCAN Radio.